Our Verify team sorting fact from fiction when it comes to all those viral videos.
Yes, take this one. Claiming to show a 50-foot anaconda swimming across a Brazilian river.
Residents there say they've heard unusual animal sounds at night. They've seen unusual-looking creatures in the distance.
The caller told police the snake's head was the size of a small ball and that its body was the length of a truck.
Hidden by dense woods and thick growths, there is a secret world of bewildering mammoths and unexplainable critters. Mysterious stories waiting to be explored, and the creepy encounters that give a message. If you see any of these in the jungle, make sure you ask for help. Let's get started.
Ela foi engolir armal.
Alright, here's a wild tale of an unfortunate anaconda that bit off more than it could chew. A fishing guide was in the city of Duradas, Brazil, when he found an anaconda that thought it was the king of the Amazon and attempted to gobble up a whole fish. Whoa, what an ambitious meal!
Ela foi engolir armal e os ferrão dele cruzou.
Well, it wasn't a victorious feast. Nope, this anaconda's eyes were bigger than its stomach. Even the fish decided it wasn't playing the role of lunch and took down the anaconda when its stinger got stuck in the anaconda's throat. Probably the fish was thinking, I'll take you down with me to the depths of the river. Moral of the story, don't underestimate your dinner. It might just turn the tables on you. Huge anaconda. People living in Brazil have the most scary problems.
Oh, bichona! Aí sim, hein?
The lush green forests in this area are inhabited by the biggest snake species in the world, the green anaconda.
Oh my god, I've just found the coolest thing ever.
These serpents sometimes make their way to the city and cause problems. Something similar happened in the area when the policemen were called to take the giant away from Society for People's Safety. And it was getting hard, even for 4 men, to get the anaconda into the cage. Considering how these species can grow up to almost 16 feet in length and are now coming into our cities, I might never plan a trip to Brazil. Chupacabra Skeleton. Residents of a town in Asan region in Chile were thrilled to hear the news of an alleged chupacabra remains found in a forest on the outskirts of their town. At first, no one was ready to believe that this mythical creature had come to life, but this video evidence made them rethink what they knew about reality. Those creepy teeth, uncanny structure of bones, and horror presence did not seem to resemble any normal forest animal, making everyone conscious about their safety. Regardless of whether it is a real chupacabra or not, just finding something like this in the dark forest can blow anyone out of their wits. Snake in snake. We all know snakes take on anything that comes their way, but did you know that they don't even spare their kind? This anaconda was recorded by some hikers who first thought that it had 2 heads, and they soon realized that it was just munching on a smaller family member. I mean, just look at the size of that thing. It can get whatever and whoever it wants. Such behaviors are common in the reptilian world. No doubt these species have survived for 165 million years. Otherworldly being. I'm pretty sure we are all tired of watching those blurry videos about aliens, so here's one that shows an actual alien-like critter present in the frame. This video was shared on the internet by 2 explorers who were wandering in a forest in Italy. It had pale gray skin and was even missing a limb, as if it was explored by wild animals. But here's the thing. It was too good to be true. As soon as the video went viral, mixed reviews started flooding in. Some were convinced that this was an extraterrestrial being that forgot its way on Earth, while others suggested that it could be a hyper-realistic artwork made by a talented man. If it was the second case, I must say I'm impressed by the artistic skills of whoever made this sculpture. Slithering surprise. Living near a forest sounds like a great idea because of getting the opportunity to live close to nature. But it turned into a nightmare for the people of Thailand when they found this giant python slithering right around their house. These serpents normally inhabit the dense forest of Thailand, so encountering one is kind of normal. But finding one of that magnitude right outside your door can be breathtaking for anyone. On average, these creepy reptiles can grow up to 15 feet. And although they are not venomous, their strong body is perfect to wrap around anything that comes in their way. Creepy werewolf. In 2019, a group of fearless Kara hunters stumbled upon a scene straight out of a horror flick under the full moon. A terrifying creature that gave off serious werewolf vibes. This werewolf wasn't howling at the moon, it was stone cold. The hunters, curious and probably a bit unnerved, decided to get up close and personal with this furry nightmare. The creature had fur everywhere, but you know what was the real thing? Those creepy teeth that could give Dracula a run for his money. Now the big question looms. Did this creepy werewolf meet its end in a fierce battle with other lycanthropes? We can never be sure. A giant python. Alright, gather around. We've got another wild snake tale straight from Indonesia. A crane playing tug of war with a python? Yeah, you saw it right. A giant python can be seen dangling in the sky like some bizarre reptilian yo-yo. This snake was so massive that you'd think it had been bench pressing elephants in its spare time. Now, why was this crane getting into a wrestling match with a snake? Well, it seems like some construction crew was doing their thing when they suddenly stumbled upon a huge python. The serpent appeared out of nowhere and gave the operator of the bulldozer quite a scare. I can almost hear the dozer whispering, "Okay, buddy, that's enough. You're not paying rent here." Reptilian bird. I know I might sound crazy by saying this, but this looks like a cross between a bird and a reptile. A group of locals had managed to get their hands on this awkward creature that had the body and wings of a bird and the face of a snake. Now, I'm no expert, but I don't believe something like that is supposed to exist naturally. Viewers started calling this bizarre find a science experiment to bring new species to life, and some even suggested that this was made by a talented editor. Still, the reality of this encounter is under debate, leaving us with the question of how anything is possible in our world. Alien invasion. This video was on the internet and featured what seemed to be an extraterrestrial body. Yeah, you heard it right. The kind of stuff that usually kicks off sci-fi blockbusters. Now, the person behind the camera was hesitant at first, but then he approached this bizarre creature. It had a look, a head that was all elongated, and eyes in places that didn't make sense in the earthly animal kingdom. The person armed with a stick gave it a little prod. And guess what? The creature passed the stick test. No movements. Was it a hoax? A sci-fi enthusiast art project? Or did we just catch a glimpse of the real deal? Share your theories, because this one's got us all scratching our heads. Swimming dino. In 2023, the footage was captured at Ranco Lake, Chile, and out of nowhere, a creature straight from the prehistoric past made a cameo. Now, some skeptics said it was a crocodile, others an alligator, and then some threw seals into the mix. But hold on, Ranco Lake isn't your average pond. We're talking 160 square miles of watery wilderness, with depths plunging to 650 feet. It may be like the VIP section for mystery creatures, but not the ideal hangout for gators, crocs, or flippered friends. Oh, and some are saying it might be an elephant seal that got lost from its natural habitat. Interesting. It's always fun to hear different theories and opinions. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if any more information comes to light. Alleged Bigfoot. We've all heard the bedtime stories about Bigfoot, right? But did it really exist, or was it just made up? Well, today, we're gonna find out. So there's this super secret spot of Alberta, a Canadian province, that was being checked out by investigators, and guess what? Out of the blue, this humongous thing popped up, and it seemed to resemble the Bigfoot myth. But wait, let's not jump to conclusions yet. In this jaw-dropping video, our hairy friend decided to show off her superhuman strength by lifting a whole tree with bare hands and casually smacking it against other trees. I mean, what? Looked like the Bigfoot forgot his morning workout routine and was into full-body tree reps. Now, the big debate. Was it a gorilla or the alleged Bigfoot? I mean, gorillas are strong, but lifting tree trunks like toothpicks? That's some next-level workout regimen. So, what's your bet? Real-life gorilla action or a Bigfoot flexing its tree-tossing muscles? Giant serpent. Hold on to your seats because this one is going to be massive. In 2018, some locals from Tamil Nadu went out in the wild in search of an incredible experience. And they got a lot more than what they bargained for when they came across this massive anaconda. I know the video quality could have been better, but it was enough to guess the size of this amazing creature. It's even hard to believe that an anaconda of this size actually exists in the wild. 10-foot tall man.
Pior que mexe esquisito demais.
Alright, hold on to your hats because we've got the mysterious 10-foot tall man that was spotted on a hill in Brazil. In the footage, there he is, a giant of a man, standing tall and proud on the hill's summit. Now, I'm no measuring tape, but this guy looked like he was pushing the boundaries of regular human height. I mean, 10 feet tall? Maybe even more? Who knows? But he was up there, casually enjoying the view like he was on top of the world. Literally. Now the question, was he a gentle giant taking in the scenery? Or did we accidentally stumble upon the guardian of the hills? I think we'll never know. But one thing was for sure, the hill had eyes. And apparently, a 10-foot tall man too. Chill frog. Okay, time to lighten the mood a bit. Enough of fights between the predator and the prey. Let's step into a parallel universe where frogs and pythons have signed a truce. This frog was brave enough to ask a banana spinner python for an Uber and got exactly what he wished for. I know it's not an everyday thing to see these two getting along, but it's kind of fun watching a python become a ride. It's humanoid snake. Alright, brace yourselves for a tale that was like a blast from the mythical past. The legend of the humanoid snake. Flashback almost a decade ago, and the internet was ablaze with the video spreading like wildfire. In Fang, Malaysia, locals claim they've stumbled upon a gorgon, a creature straight out of Greek mythology, La Medusa. The specimen in Pahang looked like a snake, but with a human head and skinny arms. A real-life Medusa, or so they thought. Turned out it was not a snake monster, but rather a cleverly crafted creation. Someone pulled a mythological prank that had the internet buzzing almost a decade ago. Strange creature attached to the goat. In some unknown place in South America, two farmers were watching a goat carefully. Something was odd with that particular goat. As we look closely, we can see a huge bat-like creature attached to a goat. It was something that could not be explained by science. But wait, the situation got creepier when the creature separated itself from the goat and turned into a shadow. The farmers, with their brave hearts, or probably just cluelessness, went after the creature and drove it towards a river to get rid of it from their goat. A stationary camera later captured the creature crawling across a rock, leaving us scratching our heads in disbelief. Sometimes reality takes a detour into the Twilight Zone, leaving us with more questions than answers. Alien mystery. In April 2011, this video about a Russian alien messed with the minds of every viewer. The critter was found by two men who had gone for a walk in the snow and found the mysterious being just lying in the white background. The people who found the alien-like body claimed that they were completely sure that it was a real entity, yet many tried to shush them down and cover up the discovery by saying it was made of bread and chicken. That somehow sounds even more bizarre than the actual alien find. Whatever the case was, I think this critter oddly resembles the one shown publicly by the Mexican Congress, who mentioned that these bodies were real.
Scientists in Mexico pulling back the curtain on what they believe are aliens.
There could be a chance of the one found in Russia being real. Ancient whale. Scientists in Banfo Sea, Bangkok were thrilled to find the skeleton of a whale that is believed to have roamed the earth around 5,000 years ago. The fossil was partially preserved and measured a total of 15 meters in length. It was unlike anything they had seen before. According to experts, it was most likely belonged to a bird's whale that still inhabits the area. The top preservation of the find will help scientists understand the evolution of the species and track how sea levels have changed over thousands of years. Alongside the skeleton, researchers found preserved items including shark teeth and shells. What a treasure for archaeologists! Creepy owl. I'm not sure what that is, but it does not look normal. A hiker enjoying his time at the Appalachian Mountains filmed this mysterious-looking critter minding its own business. At first glance, it looks like this being was staring right at the man, enjoying his time, but some viewers pointed out certain points. And now, I don't feel so burdened by the idea of real monsters. The online world shared that it might have been a very old owl, just living his days and looking at his forever home. Others even went as far as calling it a possum, just sitting with its face to the other side. Do share what you think it was. Unicorn skull. Remember how we all used to fantasize about the existence of unicorns? Turns out there is a chance of them being real. Some explorers found a skull that oddly resembled a unicorn's head. It had a long horn on its top and a head resembling a horse. But here's the twist. They roamed our planet named the Siberian unicorns, but they were not as pretty as we thought them to be. They looked more like a hairy rhino with giant feet. Well, at least unicorns were real. Bigfoot sighting. Can you spot the odd one out here? These black hairs are not branches, according to the publication of this video. These belong to a Bigfoot. This was filmed near the Banff National Park, Alberta, Canada, by a woman who suspected slight movement in her backyard and decided to capture who was causing all the fuss. She was surprised to find out that she was being stalked by this creepy creature. How many who saw the video were skeptical that it could have been a person dressed in a suit and scaring the lady, but any normal person could not be that tall and wide. Different cameras on her property had captured this similar creature on different occasions, and even she believes that she was visited by a Bigfoot. Massive anaconda. Did anyone else think of that famous movie Anaconda when they saw this? A group was exploring the vast open fields, and the serenity of the moment was broken by the presence of this giant anaconda. Finding one is all fun and games until they decide to greet you up close. This man has the guts to roll his window down and pass near a snake that size. No, I ain't no snake pro, but this anaconda looks like it could gobble up a whole deer without even trying. The scarier part is that these reptiles can get pretty feisty when they're hungry. Underground animal. An explorer from Brazil was strolling through a remote forest when he heard strange noises around him. And when he followed them, he found this critter staring right at him. This man had no idea what it was, and that made this encounter even more creepy. To find answers on what it was, he posted the video on the internet to get some help from the online world. Netizens came forward with different ideas, with some calling it a possum, others thinking it was a marmot hiding in the roots. But the scales on this creature's skin indicated something different. The explorer and the online community were left in a never-ending debate, leaving the reality of this discovery as just a mystery. Human foot. Imagine strolling through the woods, minding your own business, but suddenly you come across what seems like a zombie apocalypse. A human foot? Calm down, it is just a cute little fungus. Well, not actually cute. Scientifically speaking, it's Xylera polymorpha. But let's be real, dead man's fingers is a name that sticks. Now, these aren't your everyday fungi. We're talking about 3 to 6 fingers emerging from the base of beechwood stumps, giving off major arthritic black knuckle vibes. These fungal fingers make their appearances throughout the year, adding a touch of horror movie aesthetics to the forest floor. It's like stumbling upon nature's own version of a creepy hand reaching out from the earth. Mysterious tree. Turns out giant serpents and mysterious animals are not the only threat while exploring the jungles. We're not safe from the trees, too. This video was posted on TikTok and went viral almost instantly due to the uncanny looks of this tree. Many viewers praised the work of whichever artist managed to turn a simple tree into a haunted woman. And even though I agree with them, I still think finding something like this while being on a hike can take any person's breath away. Stay safe when you venture into the wild. Strange creature.
Tô parecendo demais com o Davi.
Vai fora, rapaz.
Let's talk about the mystery of a strange creature from the heart of Brazil. In 2018, a bunch of young men were strolling through a field when suddenly they stumbled upon a bizarre carcass that was part calf, part big-headed alien. Yeah, the kind of thing that makes you question if you've accidentally stepped into a sci-fi movie. The young, brave men didn't just stop gawking. They decided to lift the creature for a closer look. Now, the big debate, was it a deformed calf or the legendary capybara with an out-of-this-world head? Well, we can't say it for sure, but the experts suggested it might be a calf with a gnarly growth and swelling that led to its early end. Well, nature's cryptic creations. Hairless Monster. Brazil is famous for its Amazon forest, but living in a dense and vast forest like the Amazon comes with surprises like this.
Hey, y'all. Holy crap.
A group of campers had expected to enjoy their time in the lush green forest when they came across this creepy critter, kind of challenging them for being in its territory. It looks like a species of monkey, but I'm not really sure about what it was. Even the campers who had studied and encountered dozens of species on their adventures could not identify what they had encountered. Mud monster. While exploring the Anaconda River, a fisherman had come across one of his living nightmares. He had found this eyeless and face monster resting on the riverbank. He was so scared that he couldn't even record a steady video while shivering. Finally, he gathered some courage to poke the creature with a stick just to check what it was. Yet, there was no response. Could it be some mutant animal evolved because of our impact on the world? Nah, I think I let my imagination get too wild. Although the reality of this find was never revealed, finding an unknown creature looking like that in the wild world can be pretty scary. So if you ever find something like that, make sure you don't self-explore it. The tree graves. Imagine strolling through the woods and suddenly you come across trees that are more than just bark and leaves. They're cradling the memories of loved ones. Yeah, you heard it right. In the wilds of Indonesia, the Tanah Toba tribe practices some mind-boggling rituals related to their departed ones. This indigenous tribe takes the phrase resting in peace to a whole new level into resting in trees by placing their young ones in tree trunks. The idea behind this is to let nature do its thing and absorb the tiny souls, believing it sets them free. It's like the circle of life, but with a twist. Snakeskin. Officials and locals of Westbrook got the news of a snakeskin the size of a truck found near Presumpscot River, and it took away everyone's sleep.
The caller told police the snake's head was the size of a small ball and that its body was the length of a truck.
At first, no one was ready to believe such a discovery, but after police had searched the area, the presence of a 10-foot-long python was confirmed. Even though it's not a big deal for these reptiles to grow to such lengths, here's something that makes this find a true mystery. Such occurrences are unusual in Maine, as pythons are not native to the region and are more commonly found in tropical and subtropical regions of the world. Many accuse the discovery of being laid out by someone, and even if the python was there in real life, it could not have survived Maine's temperatures. TRex Remains. What are the odds of finding a dinosaur skeleton on an everyday hike? A couple was exploring the forest area and found a TRex skeleton lying in the mud. Naturally, they both got super excited about their unique find. I mean, who expects to see that on a hiking trail? As they came back home to share their amazing experience, people came up with different answers ranging from a prank to an artwork. Whatever the case was, it was still quite massive for both of them to come across such a thing and they even mentioned it to the experts, hoping for it to be real. Iron-aged woman. This one is a head-turner, a tale of an iron-aged woman. So, in 2017, during a renovation of a school complex in Zurich, the workers stumbled upon a 2,000-year-old woman snugly tucked inside a wooden coffin, just chilling inside a tree trunk. Yep, that happened. A tree trunk coffin. The kind of thing you'd expect only in a spooky movie. Not during a routine renovation. This ancient cocoon was crafted from the hollowed-out insides of a tree. And after some CSI-level analysis, researchers declare that it once housed an Iron Age Celtic woman, making it almost 2,000 years old. Just think about it. You're picking out paint colors, and suddenly, you're face to face with a mummy. It's giving me shivers. Bloodwood Tree. Have you ever heard of Bloodwood Tree? A tree that shed red? In this footage, a person was revving up a chainsaw, ready to take down a tree. But wait for it. Instead of the usual timber, something unexpected starts oozing out. Now, before you start picturing horror movie scenes, it's not what you think. It was the Corymbia opaca, or as we like to call it, the Bloodwood Tree, native to the magical lands of South Africa. These trees have rough exteriors, but inside it's full of red fluid. This red sap of the Bloodwood Tree isn't just for show. It's like nature's Band-Aid, intended to clot and close the damages. Some African tribes even believe this red sap is straight up magical and use it for medicinal purposes. So next time you see a chainsaw and a tree, remember, it might just be a Bloodwood tree. Ominous dolls. What's the deal with the island of dolls? Let's find out. A couple was on a casual stroll through the woods from the south of Mexico City when they stumbled upon dolls hanging from trees, scattered on the ground, like a creepy puppet paradise. One doll in particular caught their eye, spilled with red color or worse. I know dolls are supposed to be all fun and games, but finding them hanging from the trees of a remote area is not a game or fun. The couple came back from their trip, but were left with questions and a whole bunch of nightmares from their adventure. Huge wasp colony. You might think that you have to stay careful from the giants of the forest, but there's one more thing that can give you the creeps when visiting the lush sceneries: wasps. They look small on the outside, but their houses can get huge, like this one that an explorer found in a remote jungle. Just looking at it makes me feel like they are crawling somewhere on my skin. Normally, these nests can grow to the size of a basketball, and as much as 10,000 of these tiny creatures inhabit the colonies. So finding one of that magnitude is definitely an extraordinary thing. But if you ever come across such a sight, make sure you quietly back off from the area. An encounter with these baddies can turn out quite painful. Creepy fishing. Locals living near the Kalimantan River are built differently, and you'll agree with me after watching this video. A fisherman was carrying out his daily routine in the river when he spotted a crocodile resting at the banks. Unlike any normal person who would run away from them, he decided to speed towards the reptile. Do you know how there's a fine line between being brave and having no brains? He definitely crossed it on the wrong side. Luckily, the crocodile was not interested in a human meal that day and moved away from the boat. But if you ever come across one, make sure you move the other way. Explorers were searching the dense forest for some amazing wildlife inhabiting the area, but they got to witness nature a bit too closely. As they went deep in the greenery, they found this python that looked a bit too big for its natural size. And the reason behind its uncanny appearance was a real shocker. According to the explorers, this colossal serpent took the saying, "so hungry, one would eat a cow," too literally. The python had a great meal just seconds before being found by the group, and had grown almost twice its size. Although it might sound impossible, pythons are known for their ability to consume prey much larger than their head. However, such events are rare and represent the upper limit of what these snakes can ingest. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.